going to be okay. All right, anyways. So, if you guys recall last time when I spoke to you guys and I gave my first speech, I spoke about motivating the mind to overcome the odds. And I told you guys how I was very motivated in life. And one thing that I touched on was the idea that I had to learn how to inject myself at a very young age. And I had to motivate myself to overcome this fear. So with that said, how many people in the class right now have either a fear, a phobia, or just don't like injections or needles in general? Okay, nice. All right, so the main thing that I want to show you guys today is how easy it is to give a subcutaneous injection. Subcutaneous means giving an injection under the skin. And it's actually very useful to know because you may in the future have a loved one. For example, they may have cancer or a pet that has cancer, and you actually administer hormones through subcutaneous injections. Or maybe possibly you have a friend or a family member who is diabetic, and maybe they're about to pass out and you want to be able to be there for them and administer that injection. So in doing so today, I'm going to show you guys how to prepare for the injection, how to pick the site of your injection, and then how to discard of the injection materials that obviously you don't want anyone else to get a hold of. The first and the most important thing in any given situation is that you want to make sure that you're in a very clean area, and you want to make sure that your hands are very clean. A table's fine. Inside the house is fine. Obviously, you don't want to be injecting in the dirt. That's not going to be something that, the doctor will approve of. So just to demonstrate and show you guys, I want to show you the importance of washing hands before you give any injection. Obviously, if it's a situation where it's an emergency, you're not going to tell your friend, let me wash my hands really quick before we get done here. So I like to use a dispenser over here. It dispenses it quite nicely so that you don't have to touch the dispenser again and get any type of bacteria on your hands. So I'm just going to simply place my hand underneath the dispenser. It gives out a nice little action of soap. Get nice in the water, and you really want to go in a circular motion with your hands. You want to make sure that you're getting all the dirt out, and typically you want to go up to kind of the little bump in your wrist to make sure that you're getting everything. Also, make sure that your fingernails are clean as well. Oftentimes fingernails carry quite a bit of bacteria and dirt, which you would not want while giving that type of injection. So now that I have my hands clean, we want to make sure that we have paper towel or any type of material to wipe your hands with. Make sure that's clean and sanitary as well. We'll clean the area so that we don't infect anything. Now, most subcutaneous injections these days have become a lot easier. And with technology, they've created these pens. These pens will allow you to give an injection where the dose of the medication has already been drawn out for you. So there's no need to go into a vial, for example, which houses the medication, and draw it out and then go and inject it. It's already prepared. So we are going to first prepare the actual syringe and the needle. So we're going to take our cap off, and if you guys will take a look over here towards the imager, you'll see this is actually the medication in here, and this is where it's going to get dispensed out through. The most important thing is you want to be able to use a very fine needle. The smaller the needle, or the gauge is what they would say, the less painful it's going to be. And actually with these needles that they've created, you really don't feel anything. I like to tell people that getting your ears pierced is a bit more painful than actually having one of these little subcutaneous injections. So if you guys take a look at the screen, you have your syringe over here, and up at top you'll see there's actually a little hole kind of made of rubber, and it keeps the medicine from coming out, but it also allows you to pierce through it. So you'll take your small syringe, and you'll see there's a little bit of a needle at the end of it. You'll just place it in, and you want to go ahead and you want to start turning it counterclockwise, but do not turn to the point where you hear it click. If you hear it click, that means that your needle is now loose from the syringe, and that can be very dangerous. After that's done, we're going to simply this is modern day science, it's absolutely beautiful. We're going to pull the syringe back, the top of it, and this has given us our dosage. So the dosage is already preset. There's no need to pull anything out. And we're just going to go ahead and place that in a safe area. The next important thing is picking your area in which you're going to inject. Now, you want to give a subcutaneous injection in an area that has the most fat, because it's going directly under the skin. So either the back of your arm, or you're giving it on your back of your leg or your thigh. You can give it in your stomach, or I prefer to give it sometimes in the butt. But for the purposes of showing the class today, I'm not going to expose you guys to that. I'm going to very kindly show you how to do it on a tomato, which is very similar to kind of like the skin of a human being. You're going to get an alcohol swab. And you can get these at any type of drugstore. They sell them over the counter. And what you're going to want to do is you're just going to take the alcohol swab, find a nice piece of meat in the tush or the back of the arm, wherever you feel comfortable, and you're just going to wipe it in a circular motion. We want to make sure that we kill all of the bacteria on the outside because we don't want anything going in. Now, once we've done that, we can just go ahead. We'll place that down. There's no need to have that. And we're going to pick up our syringe. Now, this is the part where you have to be very calm, and you just have to talk to yourself. And you tell yourself, it's going to be okay. There are much worse things in life. And I still, to this day, I talk to myself as I'm giving myself an injection. It's very nice. So we're going to take the cap off. Make sure you keep this nearby, because if you don't, you could prick yourself at the end. There's another cap as well. You pull it off very slowly, because the needle is going to be right there, if you guys can see it. What we're going to do is we're going to take the tomato. Let's pretend this is an arm, for example, or a thigh. And you want to squeeze. You want to squeeze where the meat's going to be. Hold on to the injectable device firm, but not like you're going to jab someone. That's not fun. Very slow. You know, if your hand shakes, it's okay, but you almost want to do it like it's a dart. Don't throw the dart, but just very lightly. And you're going to come to the skin. See, even my hand shakes to this day. You're going to come to the skin, and you're going to hold it and just very lightly in. Now, once you have it, don't go crazy. Just inject, pull out, done. Now, this cap, very important. You don't want to prick yourself, so you're just going to go like this. You're going to get that back on there. You're going to put your cap back on, and you're going to twist it in the opposite direction. Now, exposing or getting rid of the materials is very important. And what you're going to want to do is you can pick up one of these containers at a Long's drugstore. And this actually, once it gets filled up, you just go to a medical facility and you get rid of all the needles. And this actually opens up. Of course, it doesn't want to open up today. But this opens up. And you simply just stick it in the front, opposite way where the needle is. Bam, you're done. And once your area, you want to make sure that obviously all the needles are dispersed and everything is done before you go back. You can go back and clean the area again. It's not necessary. But once you've done that, you're good to go. Usually there's no blood or very little. And that is pretty much how to give a subcutaneous injection. So hopefully, just to recap, I hope you guys now will see how easy it is to prepare for the injection, to give the injection, and then at the end, dispose of the materials, and hopefully you guys can help somebody out in the future.